the Carter 6.
Damn, we didn't even get to the Carter 6.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get to new music at the end of the podcast, of course. But the Carter 6, Lil Wayne's newest album, just dropped, and that shit was disappointing. I feel comfortable saying whatever I got to say because Lil Wayne is my GOAT. Talk about Wayne all the time. I think I'm a very avid Lil Wayne fan. Yeah. Wayne has always got off the last couple years being like, I don't listen to nobody's music. I don't hear nothing but myself, ... It fucking sounds like it, bro. It sounds like you are the only person in the room approving this music, being like, yep, this is the one. It proves that, again, I think a lot of big artists don't have A&Rs or don't have teams, but like, bro, get people around you who you can bounce ideas off of. Because I feel like even in like my insulated situations, when I'm like locked in with an artist and we're trying to work on a song or an album or whatever, it's like, amongst us 4 or 5 people, we might think it sounds good, but then when we take it to somewhere else or you play it for the late, whatever, it's like, now you got all these different opinions. They're going to tell you shit that like you could improve, you know? Like, just because it sounds good to y'all doesn't mean it's going to sound good to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I think with Wayne, he had to be hearing something different than the rest of us heard, because these beats are unique, is the kindest way I could say it. Yeah. How'd you guys feel about the project?
It was dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it was really, really bad. It was a tough listen.
Niggas are doing a lot because I don't think that it was like the worst thing I like it's bad. Like, I'm not gonna play this again. I'm not gonna press play on this.
Yeah, and normally I'm with you where it's like, let's push back against groupthink, but sometimes groupthink is right. And this album is really bad. One of the worst rap albums I've listened to.
Oh, see, now you're overdoing it. I've heard many worse rap albums. Not to say
what are a couple?
Fucking anything MGK has ever done.
You've listened to full MGK albums?
No, but
so you can't say that.
But I can't get through it. If I press play and
I'm saying out of
Chance
all
the
the
Rapper,
albums,
the Big Day.
That's better than this.
Well, I'd like Spencer to
Yo,
speak.
you're capping.
It is. Go listen to the Big Day again. The Big Day is better than the Carter 6.
No,
the Carter 6 is terrible, bro.
No, but it's not worse than the Big Day.
It was.
I agree with Spencer. Spencer, I would like you to speak to the point that you made about the Carter series and what it means to you.
I mean, I think everybody that likes hip hop knows that the Carter series is maybe the most franchised, important, special series of albums a hip hop artist has ever dropped. Like, maybe when we're talking about Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 with Jay-Z, it like rivals it, but I don't think it does. I think this is the most important album series to the genre. And if this album wasn't called the Carter 6, I wouldn't be so hard on it. If this was just another Lil Wayne album, because he's dropped a lot of bad albums in the last 4 years, if this was just another Lil Wayne album, I would have pressed play on it and probably not listened to the whole thing and been like, all right, Wayne's doing whatever. But there needs to be a certain level of care that you handle a legacy series like this with, in my opinion. So to see the Carter 6 before even hearing the music and look at the track list and see Jelly Roll and to see Bono and to see who you brought out for this incredibly special series, I was already disappointed. Then to hear the beats you picked, to hear what you were talking about, this was the opposite of special. This was the most, let me not. This was not a good album.
Yeah, I think it just, you also said this, that he feels like he's out of touch. You know, I think Wayne, we've kind of seen like throughout the years, Wayne kind of like, not to use a harsh word, but decaying in front of our eyes, you know what I mean? And I think especially with this little like back and forth with Kendrick, right? We're kind of seeing him not even know how to really like express himself and compose himself in the public eye. Like, I feel like the way that he handled that was, I don't know, that shit wasn't player at all, in my opinion. But let me speak on the music real quick.
Yeah.
Let me speak on the music. I did have decent expectations going into this. I think when I heard Welcome to the Carter, I was like, okay, this could go in a positive direction.
Me too.
And I think after 15 more tracks, I was like, wow, this man might have gone 1 for 16. Be honest.
But we all spoke before, and I don't think any of us were excited.
I was excited day of.
But okay,
because he dropped the sample
every other day.
Yeah, because Wayne has dropped a lot of bullshit in the last couple of years, and he has been talking out his ass.
Exactly.
He seems out of touch.
Same
seems
page,
like he has no
same
team.
page. We're on the
seems
same
like
page.
he's still being managed by his engineer.
I agree.
They're like, where's his team?
So
where's Drake?
So
where's Nicki?
None of this surprised me.
Okay.
Nothing that transpired.
I'm not saying it surprised me.
And I think that Wayne, but I just think that there's like, it is not as it's not as simple as he's ass. You know, I think that Wayne at least deserves, like, let's at least walk to how you got here. because I don't think this is just out of the blue. And I think that this is just the result of years of missteps, but also some of the things that used to make Wayne great. Because when I see the experimentation and I see the Bonos and I see the Jelly Rolls and all the things that he's attempting to do, especially with trying to get more into that pop sound, right? Wayne was doing that in the early 2000s when he got on his skater vibe and was doing How to Love and things like that. And Can't Believe It with T-Pain. These were all new things within the genre that he was doing and him experimenting with other genres and avenues that no one else was doing right now. Wayne was touching genres that other rappers wouldn't touch and was killing it.
But that's not what this is.
Right. Fuck with me though. I think Wayne didn't do this as, I just think it's interesting because I don't think Wayne did like, I'm gonna grab Jelly Roll, I'm gonna grab Bono just for a money grab or a cash grab or anything like that, or to appeal to any other people. I think Wayne genuinely did that as a musician and an artist and a fan of these things and wanting to try things in different genres, you know? I just don't think it turned out well. But I do think he was trying to be creative, you know?
I can see what you mean. I just think it wasn't well curated.
It flopped.
That's
It
probably
flopped.
because there weren't other people in the room.
Yes.
And another thing I would say, just to push back on your point just a little bit. Yes, Wayne has experimented with like pop and rock, but the Carter has never been about pop music. Even How to Love is more of an R&B record.
Bro, I think that the Carter 4, what Mirror on the Wall with Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay. All right. No,
Yeah.
you got me there. You got me there. But still, that's still kind of an R&B record, no? Mirror on the wall.
There's a pop song. There's a pop song.
There is no world when Lil Wayne has ever attempted to do something like cover a Weezer song on the Carter series.
Yes.
That was egregiously terrible.
I just also wish
the Bono song sounded like a Call of Duty soundtrack song from 2018.
Yes, I
It
agree.
was one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
I didn't-
I stopped it the second that Bono vocal hit.
I didn't want
Because
the Carter
Bono
5.
that Bono vocal didn't even sound like Bono.
Did you want the Carter 5?
Yeah. I wrote a whole review on the Carter 5.
But did you want
3,000 words.
I'm saying before it came
Yes,
out.
I did.
Did you feel like you needed the Carter
yes,
5?
Yes, I wanted it.
To
And it was
me-
heads and tails better than this.
I agree with
It was
you.
so much better than this.
I'm more so just saying I expect everything that we're saying now. I could have told you was gonna happen before.
But bro, no-
Everything.
No, not me.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a classic, and I could have probably told you it was going to be the worst Carter. But this,
I did not think it was gonna be good music.
but did you think it was going to be this bad?
I was not surprised by.
I don't even think you heard the whole album, bro.
Bro,
So
you
let's-
heard, but you heard everything that we said before.
And Miles, you should be able to walk away from an album like this with at least 3 tracks.
When, bro,
He really went. I could give him 2 maybe with Cotton Candy, maybe, but even that is just like it's too coked
Have
out.
you-
for me. I don't know what's going on.
There are
over there.
no songs on this album that I will listen to again.
bro,
Not
there's-
one.
There's no when Lil Wayne dropped an album with Rich the Kid, I knew it was clip, bro.
Yeah, but that's called Trust Fund Babies, and it's Rich the Kid and Lil Wayne
it
animated on the
doesn't
cover.
matter.
Yes,
That's
it does.
Lil, bro.
Yes, it
Lil
does.
Wayne
This is
should
the
no.
Carter 6, bro.
I don't care if it's the Carter, whatever. Lil Wayne should never be allowed to drop an album like that with Rich the Kid. Why the fuck are you letting that happen if you're on his team, bro? Lil Wayne has been fucking up his career actively, literally every single day for 10 plus years. So why the fuck am I surprised that the Carter 6 is fucking garbage? I don't get it. Like, niggas is out here like they didn't expect the fucking Peanuts to. This nigga doesn't talk to anybody. Who the fuck is sending Wayne a beat right now that's been hot in 10 fucking 15 years?
I hate that we live in the clip era because I could just see that. I already know what to do with that.
Thank you for that.
Nigga, no, funeral.
Miles said everything that needed to be said.
This nigga
Yeah,
been-
no. See, but you see what Miles does though? He disagrees, but he really agrees with
Yeah.
us.
I
And
said
he just
all of
disagrees.
this.
He just disagrees for conversation.
I didn't
Yeah,
disagree with conversation. I just don't think that we need to act like this is
You said How to Love was a pop record.
it was a pop record. First of all, you said there was no pop songs on fucking the Carter 4, and then I disproved you in 2 seconds.
Don't get hung up on this little argument.
Mirror on the Wall isn't really a pop song
Don't
either.
get hung up.
To be honest, to be honest.
The point that I've been trying to make
pushing
is just that the Carter 5 came out in 2018.
Yeah.
Funeral 2020, ass. Trust Fund Babies 2021, ass. The Fix Before 6, ass.
Extra ass.
Welcome to Collard Grove with 2 Chainz, ass.
Listenable.
Everything
Listenable.
this
that
nigga-
wasn't ass. That
That
was
one was listenable.
All right, bro. This nigga's dropped one listenable tape in what 4 or 5 attempts since 2018.
So-
I had very low expectations for this.
So let me ask you this. Because we have frequently said that there's maybe 2 or 3 rappers that we could legitimately call the best ever.
Yeah.
And one of them is Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2 or 3 or 1, I think he's always been atop of our GOAT rankings.
Yes.
Do these last 5 years hurt his legacy?
No. I look at it like Shaq. Shaq was ass in Phoenix. Shaq was ass in Cleveland. Shaq was ass in Boston. That nigga was ass for mad years of his career. But he had all that legendary shit at the beginning. He did all of that. He's since retired and has done everything good. You know what I mean? Like that. Once you've been established, once you've done what you're gonna do in this music shit, once you've given us greatness and proven who you are at the highest level, I'm fine with it. Wayne has given us plenty of great music.
And I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I completely disagree. I think this has definitely hurt his legacy. Just like everything Eminem did from 2010 to today, minus maybe the last couple years, has hurt his legacy.
But that's why I make the point that I just made.
What?
That's why I said all the shit I said about Wayne and the artistic vision and all that shit, because I agree with you guys on the point that this shit was not good. But I'm saying all that shit because I think that it was still coming from a place of trying to be great, trying to make records, trying to push shit, and it just didn't work out. But I'm like, that's not going to fuck up his legacy for me because at least he's trying to make new music, and like I can't fault him for that.
And you know what I think I'm starting to learn is I think that I view Eminem and Lil Wayne somewhat similarly. And I know that sounds crazy, and I will be the first to say Lil Wayne is a top 5 rapper of all time for me. But I think they just love rap.
Yeah.
I think they are rappers. And I know you guys have shit on me for this specifically before, but I maybe think a little less of them as artists. Because I think there is a difference between being an incredible, out of this world wordsmith, and that is a form of art in itself. But my favorite artists of all time are more than just single-faceted, incredibly skilled at rapping. They also have the ability to curate albums that work really well. They can read the culture and read what's going on outside and make timely
Andre 3000
music.
is your favorite, right?
Yeah.
You think he just dropped 2 albums that were not the best?
They were incredible. You just don't like that kind of music.
No. Objectively. Yeah,
objectively.
The flute album, fine. You could say that was whatever.
Yeah.
This piano album was not good.
I mean, I don't think you listen to that kind of music.
But bro, no. If you listen to that type of music,
Yeah.
you're not saying that album is good.
How do you know that?
That is factual. Because niggas who listen to that music were literally like, this is bad piano playing. This is not technically good piano playing. This sounds like someone who is trying shit.
Name one nigga.
And bro, the fucking nigga on the
Name
fucking
one
Joe
nigga.
Budden podcast.
Who?
Bro, I'm not fucking Parks. Was like, this was not a good album just on a technical level.
He's a piano listener?
He fucking is he plays piano.
I didn't know.
This is not a good
no
bro.
idea.
That album is not good.
Okay. I'm not gonna die on the hill defending the piano album. I don't
Yeah.
listen to that. But the flute album is a great example because we actually spoke about Andre on stream, and I'm like, the flute album. Well, at the time, I was like, what is this? I would have loved bars, and I can't even lie. Like I've spun that album 50 times. You know what I'm saying? But what Andre did with that album has inspired me in so many different ways as an artist. I've
sure.
listened to so many different interviews. No, the whole thing I was telling you about Alice Coltrane and about Pharoah Sanders and about how I really want to dive more into jazz music and how I'm learning jazz scales on my guitar. That is all from
The flute album.
what Andre said. That's where it all started.
The flute album?
Yes.
The flute album.
Yes, and hearing him talk.
So
Because
him talking and the flute album are 2 different things.
him talking about the flute album.
Okay.
And him talking about making the flute album and why he made the flute album has profoundly changed me as a person and as an artist.
But did the music on that flute album influence that? Or was it the things that inspired the flute album, the things that went into it? The actual music on that album is not getting played in your headphones. It's just
you can't pull them apart.
He's just an excellent
you can't-
speaker. No,
No.
Andre 3000 is a great speaker, a great artist, very articulate and true to the craft. But the music that he put on Wax, the last 2 projects, was not impressive, and that's fine because Andre has nothing to prove and his legacy is already cemented. Lil Wayne is just trying shit and putting out music and his ass. But that's fine because Wayne is still Wayne.
But they're different. They're totally different. They're totally different because Wayne is putting out dated, bad music in the same genre. You know what I'm saying?
He's putting out bad music in a different genre.
No, he's not.
Bro, you're
No.
not playing it.
No, he's not.
If you
bro.
were listening to it, I'd feel different. But you
I've
know
li-
you're not.
I have been listening to
Bro,
it.
bro.
Because I've
I'm not
started
doing
listening
this
to
with you,
Cosmic
bro.
Jazz.
I'm not doing this.
I
with
told you, I've
bro.
started
This nigga's
listening-
talking about Cosmic Jazz right now, bro. I'm not doing
I
this.
want to insert myself in this conversation somehow, but I don't know where to start.
Bro, I think
I don't know.
this,
I don't even
does
know where to
this
start.
affect
I do-
Lil
I do-
Wayne's legacy to
I
you?
do. I do. Oh, okay. Could you say that again?
Does this affect Lil Wayne's legacy to you?
No.
Okay. I think we're on the same page then. Wayne is still Wayne. Wayne is a GOAT to me. I think that he's going to be the GOAT forever. So, fuck it. I don't really care.
That's crazy
Um,
that you don't think you can tarnish a legacy.
Not when your legacy is as bulletproof as Wayne's. When you've
I
done
think-
what he's done, once you release 7+ great bodies of work, it's gonna be hard to fuck your shit up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see examples of it on both sides, and you see legends aging gracefully and cementing their legacy, and then you see people doing like this, dropping bullshit and dropping in the ranks. For me personally,
And that is, I think, going back to the beginning where our mindsets differ.
Huh.
I think everyone falls off. I think everyone is gonna get old. I think everyone is gonna eventually get out of touch. And I don't fault you for that. I don't care about that. I think all you're doing is just naturally becoming who you're gonna become. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think that
And-
should prevent you from making art.
But I feel like the way you're using fall off, I'll use it too. I'd rather see someone fall off, quote unquote, like Andre, than someone fall off like Wayne, because I think Wayne is still trying to be who he was, and I think Andre has realized that's not who he is anymore.
And I
that's-
disagree. I don't
and
think
that is why I think that Andre is such an important artist, and I'm questioning Wayne's artistry sometimes, because I think to be an incredible artist, you have to live artfully, bro.
Wayne lives the most artfully someone could live. He literally only listens to his own music and records music every single day as a 50-year-old.
Wayne's burnt, bro.
No,
And
Wayne
here's-
is not. I think
let
the
me-
issue comes from you saying that Wayne is trying to do something. I don't think Wayne is trying to get an old sound or do anything. I think he's just making music that he thinks is good.
Now, the whole last year, it seems like he felt disrespected and has been trying to get hot again.
He's not trying to get. I think he wants to be in the conversation. I think he wants to be talked about. But I think from an artistic musical standpoint, I think he's just making what he thinks sounds good, and he's old.
And everybody doesn't fall off. Let me circle back to that, because Nas is on the best 6-year run of his career. He has dropped the best music consecutively since it was written. Came out in 1998 or whenever it came out. So that is how, as a legend, you elevate your status. He like what he's done with King's Disease series and the Magic series. Like, I don't know. Look at what Hove did. You know, these are people that are continuing to cement their legacy.
Bro, after Kingdom Come, niggas were saying Hov fell off.
But after 444, were they?
They said he made a comeback. I think you can make a comeback the same way that Wayne, after all of this ass, after all his bad music, if he were to drop a great song or a great album next year, like people would be like, oh, he's back.
Yeah.
If he would have got better beat. And that's also what I'm saying. I think that Wayne's rapping wasn't that terrible on this. I think the beat selection was just awful. Like, I think that if he would have just got better beats, we would be talking about this completely differently. The production was a glaring flaw.
I think his rapping has deteriorated.
the rapping wasn't great.
He's leaning more into the wordplay shit that he does, which is, I mean, it's cringe in 2025. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I think I also like go back and listen to old Wayne. Like he was kind of rapping in a similar way. I think that his subject matter and things like that haven't really changed that much throughout the years. I think that again, these
The times
beats are
have changed?
ass, bro. No, these beats are ass.
But you're saying if he was rapping the same.
If he was rapping the same over better production, I think everyone would be okay with this album. I think that these beats were just so egregiously bad and they sounded comical at points.
Mhm.
Like that Elephant song literally sounds like a joke. The Island song sounds like the most glaring thing ever. The Bono song is like, these are just like weird ass beats to choose to rap over.
And now I think you had a good point though when you said like the rapping isn't actually that different than
Yeah.
it always has been.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that has me looking back on some of the old stuff. Like, is this as good as I thought it was? To be completely honest, because the same thing happened with Eminem, right? Where it's like, you're like, I don't want to hear this no more. And then you listen to some of the old shit and you're like, oh, he didn't really change. I just did, you know? And so I think the artists that are truly like incredible and the best ever, to me, that doesn't happen.
So then go listen. So you're saying that you, because you tweeted it, every real fan went back and listened to the old Carters.
Yeah.
So you're saying 2, 3, and 4 don't hit like how they supposed to?
No, they hit like crazy.
Exactly.
They hit like crazy.
So we're not going to do that. Don't disrespect Wayne now. Nigga put him in a category with Eminem. That's crazy, bro.
He fell out of my top 3.
But you know, again, go listen to another Flute album, bro. I don't
Still in the
give a
top
fuck.
5, but fell out of the top 3.
Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yep.
Make sure to fuck with your boys on Patreon. Link down below in the description. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.